All right, welcome back to Vanguard here at the Esports Arena, taking place at Santa Ana, California. We're basically getting to top 16, and unfortunately, we're joined by someone here who isn't going to be playing in that top 16.
It's really unfortunate. Sorry, but that's what you're here for, man.
Yep.
Yeah, you know.
So obviously, you're here to try to qualify, and you were trying to get as many points as you could. Who did you lose to in this tournament?
I lost.
Oh, by the way, this is Wrathmatics.
Yes,
we forgot to mention the name.
That is me. Yeah, I lost to Charlie.
Okay.
Well, first off, I came here pretty late, so I was very rushed into the match. So I was kind of like, okay, I want to get to my match. I want to play it really fast. And I ran into Charlie, and he played really good. You know, he was anti-airing consistently. He had really good pressure. It was a good loss, right? And then after that. A couple rounds after in losers bracket, I ran to Hellfire.
Okay.
Who I've been playing for a long time.
For years, man.
Yeah, years. Literally years.
That's the worst. It's like literally the worst because at that point anyone can win, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the last time we played, I won and it was super close, and this time he won and it was super close. So, I had hoped to do better, but that's not how every tournament can go. You know, sometimes it's not going to go your way, and it's a learning experience every time. So
how do you rebound from something like that? You know.
A lot of people will blame the character or, blame certain frames of delay.
I've never said Cammy sucked. I never said that, dude.
By the way, before you get into that, what character do you use for everybody at home that doesn't
I play Karen.
know?
I play Karen. I used to play Birdie. I switched a little while ago because I felt very limited with his tool set in certain matchups. And, I'm just waiting for Urian.
That's fair.
Okay,
that's totally fair.
He looks so hyped. Dude. Yeah. He's got a backward step. You do back roundhouse, it goes forward. I was
It looks good. He looks like he deals a lot of damage too.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of fireballs. Urian looks hyped. Okay. So it was two close matches. I think Charlie's still in the tournament. I'm not sure about Hellfire. Okay. But yeah, they're two really good players. Those guys are ridiculous.
So, I mean, you're obviously a strong up-and-coming player. You've done well at Wednesday night fights before, you know. What is it like? What is your training regimen? Sorry.
Two different words.
Yeah, exactly. What's your training regimen? And like, do you feel like you could get as far without something like a Wednesday night fights for you?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
Every time I stream on Twitch, and I have a lot of people ask like, "Hey, man, how do I get better? How do I improve?" And it's always go to your locals. You know what I mean? Like, you will see so much about yourself that you don't want to face. You don't want to realize that you don't really anti-air or that you fall out in the clutch. You can't close matches. And if you want to win, if you really want to improve in tournament, you have to face these things. And the best way to overcome that is to go to Wednesday fights, get blown up, go back home. Don't lose the same way next week. It's that type of thing.
It's really good advice.
And that's pretty much how I base my practicing. It's like, what did I lose to? And let me make sure I never lose to that again.
Right. Yeah. It's really interesting because it feels like fighting games really is kind of like you have to be willing to crush your own soul. You have to be like, you know what? Oh,
you're building the fundamentals. Yeah. Man. You're building blocks. You're getting torn down and rebuilt again into a stronger form.
And the more you blame outside circumstances, the slower you'll grow.
Right, yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, there's scrub quotes. It's one of my favorite Twitter accounts. That's hilarious.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
So speaking of Wednesday night fights, and you say you frequent there for your casuals, in terms of the competition there and the competition here, like what is that experience? What does that transition feel like for you? I feel like, you come with a certain game into Wednesday night fights because it's a local, but then you're here at the Vanguard where it's a little more at stake. So what's your mentality going into that, and how do you feel the competition is for you in terms of preparation mentally, as well as all the adversities you might face in pools?
I think for me personally, it's not really too different. I'd say the main difference, I mean, it seems kind of silly, but Vanguard is, in the afternoon. It's much earlier than Wednesday night fights.
That's a plus.
A little earlier. A little earlier.
The thing is, I'm generally more of a night person. So, waking up early, that's come on, man.
It's different.
Who's waking up before 12?
Gamers don't do that.
Yeah,
I know, right?
We really don't.
I live in the dungeon, and then, I just wake up to go get groceries, maybe. And then that's it. But yeah, so I would say it's it's very important, these Vanguard things, because it's not something that happens all the time. Wednesday Night Fights is every week, right? You can kind of test your luck. You can try out some more things. You can be a little more experimental. But, you know, events like today's, you got to bring your A game. And I feel like a lot of people did. And maybe I wasn't as ready for that. You know, when you set a goal like, yo, I want to win Wednesday Night Fights.
Yeah.
And then you win Wednesday Night Fights.
Which you have, yeah,
Which
that's
I
right.
did, yeah.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, that was sick, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You lose the hunger. You know, you think, oh, you know, I did it. You know, I did what I wanted to do.
You hit your milestone, right?
I can chill a little bit, and it's okay because I set a goal and I accomplished it, and I can set another goal in a little bit, but for right now I'm gonna chill. And then, you know, you get blown up in pools, and then you're like, wow, that was a really dumb idea. Like, I don't want to do that ever again. I want to like be really good. So I've just kind of been chilling. You know, I've been playing Pokemon Go. I'm not gonna lie, that game is ridiculous.
That's fair. That's, you know,
but
time
you know,
off.
I gotta.
You and everybody else.
Yeah,
so
man.
you know.
Last Wednesday Night Fights, when I first got here, my boy Chris Wynn, shout out to Chris Wynn, wherever you are. Somewhere, yeah. We put 2 lures down and we were just catching Pokemon. And honestly, I was more focused on that than my pool matches. It's not. You shouldn't be. That's not. I'm not. I don't condone this.
You don't advocate that 100.
But
That's fair.
the thing is, you know, that's kind of where my headspace was at, and that's not where you have to be to win. Especially somewhere like Wednesday Night Fights, it's not enough to be a good player. You have to be a really good player to win at Wednesday Night Fights, and to be not necessarily to win, but to be consistent.
Right, that's the main thing right there.
Yeah.
Is the consistency.
So many good players here, and people that nobody knows about, like Daily Tane, for example. He got what, a 33rd at Evo, like just outside of top 32,
Yeah,
and
that's
nobody
amazing,
saw
by
that
the
coming.
way.
And
He's a
has
brand new
been-
player,
and he's been grinding. He played Street Fighter 4, and nobody knew him, but he played Dudley, and he was, you know, kind of learning how to play the game.
Right.
And now in 5, he's kind of coming into his own, especially with Wednesday Night Fights. And there's so many players like that, you know. And it's happening in NLBC. It's happening in local scenes, and you know, all across the country and the world. It's people are getting really good at fighting games, man. It's crazy.
Well,
it's crazy.
So I mean, obviously, a lot of players. We just saw guys like Stupendous just got sponsored. Chris T got sponsored, right? I mean, is this something that you're looking for as well? Are you hoping to try to find that sponsorship and start traveling? Yeah. What's the furthest you've traveled to a tournament?
Furthest I've traveled Sacramento. I suppose it's
for
technically
NCR,
further
right?
than Evo, I would say.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. That's true.
Same
6 hours to 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of sponsorships, I'm open. You know, I've talked to some people before about, you know, stuff in that realm, but nothing too concrete.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of taking it as it goes type of thing. I think once you do get sponsored, there's definitely a lot of pressure to not necessarily perform really well, but you have to, you know, be who you were sponsored to be. If you're sponsored to, you know, SBD people, you got to make sure you SBD people. You know what I mean? If I get sponsored because people want to see the oh-ho-hos, exactly, then I got to hit those oh-ho-hos.
Right.
That's right.
And it's, you know, I that would be dope. I really want to get sponsored. Yeah, that would be totally cool.
You have to hit an oh-ho-ho quota.
Yeah, exactly.
per week at Wednesday Night Fights.
You know, Stupendous has the booths on there, right?
So he hits at least 40 a night, or 40 every week.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's great about Stupendous? He doesn't really do it so much anymore, and I'm really sad about that. But he used to hit you with an SBD, like for the win in Street Fighter 4, and he would just look at you, shake his hair, and just look at you again, and just maintain eye contact, and then just shake your hand, and then you just like carry a stick, walk off gracefully. You know, there'd be like a gust of wind out of nowhere, blowing back.
It's like a shampoo commercial.
Man, shout out to Stupendous wherever he is for getting sponsored. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
No, but I mean, like, you know, speaking of that too, because you were talking about consistency and everything. Because Stupendous, he's only won 1 Wednesday Night Fights as well, right? Or is it maybe like 2 now?
I believe it was only 1, but it might have been 2.
Right, but the thing is, he does it He gets high up there consistently.
He's always top 8 caliber.
Right, exactly. Right. So, and then you see that, you know, in this kind of environment, as long as you're that consistent, and then he started traveling a little bit more, and now he has the sponsorship. So, you know, so like you said, it's very much about consistency. So.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, no more breaks, right?
I mean, you know, I don't know, man. I caught an Aerodactyl. It's pretty cool. I feel like I gotta get me like a Scyther or something, you know.
Yeah, only here at the esports arena is where you can get both the stops, the Pokestops here, and as many as you can. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's it. It's an esports arena specific thing. So
that's true.
You could also check out Street Fighter 5 action here. So again, if you're in SoCal, definitely need to come out to these things.
No, like seriously, like that's. I mean, you definitely were touching on that. Like, if you're in SoCal and you are serious about Street Fighter, there's many places to go and get better and level up. But Esports Arena is a fantastic venue. Like
Right.
I'm a super huge fan. It's really far for me, which is unfortunate, but it's a great venue. It's one of the best that I've ever been to.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to somebody earlier, just here at the venue. I said to him, like, if you like Street Fighter and you live in SoCal, you owe it to yourself to go to Wednesday Night
Absolutely,
Fight, because not every place gets a scene like this, you know.
that's true.
And then you have guys. I mean, like Chris T, he drives all the way out from San Bernardino. Like that's far.
That's really
That's far. That's where I was born. I know how far that is. I know
really
how
far.
And then,
Yeah.
like, remember when they were playing Marvel here, Paradigm would drive like. I mean, I think he still does.
He's from
drive.
Palmdale, isn't he?
Yeah,
No.
he used to drive
Or no,
like
Palm Springs. He's from Palm
yeah,
Springs.
he would drive like 2 hours to get to Wednesday night to get to the run back so that he
right,
could
yeah.
play Marvel.
Wow.
And that's without traffic, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So-
That's too intense, man. But he still
Yeah.
does it. It's the dedication. It's the drive. Like,
Yeah.
no pun intended, it's the drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely need to come out here for some Street Fighter 5 action. Or just like
It's absolutely true.
well,
tournaments in general.
so after today, like I said,
Right.
you didn't make it to top 16. What are your takeaways? Like, what do you feel like you're going to work on so that this won't happen again at the next Vanguard?
I'm gonna say, really, I wasn't prepared
Okay.
for the tournament, and not just mentally, but I didn't sleep right. I didn't eat right. I didn't. I talked to Infiltration at SCR 2012 a
Okay.
while ago, and I was like, Infiltration, tell me, what is the secret to Street Fighter? And he was like, he just looked at me for a little bit. I was
like,
with
wait,
Valiant.
I'm waiting
Yeah.
for this because
I
I
wanna
need to
know.
hear this.
And he was like, eat, sleep, drink water. And then he was just like, that was it. And he just looked at us, and we looked at him, and we had like this moment, like for real. And he was like, for real.
That's pretty.
And then
that's
I was like, yo, Lord
pretty
Infiltration. He's got the strats. Eat, sleep, and drink water. I was only doing like maybe one of those.
yeah, I know,
You know?
right?
So
max.
yeah,
I mean,
at consistently at the same time, it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's
That's too
interesting
much.
because this is like a topic that I was talking with some people here as well. Because we're talking about those esports houses, right, where
Yeah.
you basically train all day, but they usually also have an exercise regime that's kind of built into that,
That's true.
and even regimen, I should say, exercise regimen. I don't know where
2
this
for
is
2
gonna-
on that one.
Yeah, I know, but and even like guys like Tokido, Daigo, Bonchan, like that's definitely where they've kind of gone. They've not
They
only
implement
practiced-
exercise.
yeah,
Yeah.
they try to add that exercise in there as well. So,
Definitely,
definitely something to think about.
Exercise is super important. I definitely feel like I'm able to play better if I am, if I feel like there's a certain comfort that comes from, exercising.
Yeah.
After you exercise, you feel like you've accomplished something. You feel
Endorphins.
confident in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that
and
is.
it's not really, not just before a tournament, but like before, I'm gonna go to training mode, try to find some new setups. If I hit the gym for a bit, or if I go on a run, when I come back, I feel refreshed. I'm able to kind of open my mind a little more. It's cool, man. Exercise is cool. Exercise is important. Like Cheetos
Absolutely.
are cool, but like exercise is cool too.
Exercise.
You heard it here
There you go.
first.
True. Yeah. So,
Before you go, actually, I wanted to ask you, since you're no longer in the running for top spot at the Vanguard, who do you think is most likely to take it here tonight?
I mean, the obvious favorite is Chris Tartarian, right? That's like for sure. But
That's a surefire bet.
yeah, I'd say Chris is the safest bet. But Daily Tane is looking so clean. I'm really excited to see how far it goes. Yeah, and I want to say a quick shout out to Valiant. He got knocked out early also, and he is a ridiculously good player.
Oh yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
And it's crazy how good the competition is here. Like these are really cool tournaments. So.
Yeah, people don't understand. Like it's like all killers.
Yeah,
Like, everyone
exactly.
is
Like,
dangerous here.
That's right.
There are so many good players here. It's crazy. It's really cool. It's fun not only to compete against, but to watch. Like as a spectator, it's dope.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us here.
Thank you for having
Once
me.
again, what's your Twitter if people want to follow you?
I am T3P_Wrathmatics. You can follow me on Twitch also, twitch.tv/Wrathmatics. And then I got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheThirdPixel. That's like a group channel. Some tutorials. There's going to be some new content with Valiant also. That rolling out. There's some cool stuff. You should check it out if you're interested.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Oh. All right, and we got some cool Street Fighter. I want to watch
That's
this.
right. Top 16 coming up.
Yeah, awesome.